Ladies and gentlemen, the Smithtown Planning Board is now in session. Would you join us for the Pledge of Allegiance? Barbara?
Allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We thank you. Please.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. The first item on the agenda, the Planning Department recommends the following items for adjournment as we have insufficient information to act upon them. Part 1, Item 1, number 1143, Gemini Landing. Item 2, number 2011-01, All Seasons Motor Lodge. Item 3, number 2011-10, Anthony Lettieri. Item 4, number 2009-05, FB4 Realty. Item 5, number 1059, Prestige Estates. Item 6, number 1000A, Soundview Estates. Item 7, number 773, Scholar Estates. Item 8, number 1137, Stanton Platt. Item 9, the 280A application of Olivia Estates. Item 10, the letter of interpretation for the Polish National Church. Part 2, Item 11, number 2010-06, KVC Holdings. Item 12, number 1053A, Berg Estates. Item 13, number 911A, Glen Hill Northern. Mr. Chairman, these are the items the Planning Department recommends for adjournment.
Is there anybody here in the audience that wishes to be heard on those items to be adjourned? A motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the items read.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
Are they all set? Mr. Chairman, the next item on the agenda under Part 3, Item 14, number 1066, Greenbelt Estates. Mr. Chairman, this application was brought before the board at the February 1st, 2012 Planning Board meeting, excuse me, at which time it was adjourned, pending an on-site inspection by the board and also a written response from the New York State Department of Transportation. We did receive confirmation from DOT. There is a copy of their letter attached to the back of this memorandum. And if you will, I will assume that the board has made their site inspection, and I'll read the resolution onto the record. Be it, bless you. Be it resolved that the Planning Board hereby approves the request of Victor Murray of TMM LLC to waive the requirement of installing 1,105 linear feet of sidewalks along Plymouth Boulevard, Parnell Drive, Greenbelt Court, and New York State Route 25 within the subdivision known as Greenbelt Estates, number 1066.
Thank you. Anyone in the audience to represent the applicant? Would you come to the microphone and give your name and address, please?
Joan Camus, 35 Willard Way, Dix Hills, 11746. CAMUS.
Any questions here on the resolution?
No, it's granted.
Okay,
Thank you very much, Joe.
you're welcome. Is there anybody else here to be heard on that application? Members of the board, any questions? A motion there is in order.
In the matter of Greenbelt Estates, number 1066, motion to adopt the resolution as read in accordance with the recommendation of the Planning Department.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
Mr. Chairman, the next item on the agenda under Part 3, Item 15, number 1062, Mill Run Estates. Mr. Chairman and members of the board, there is a copy of a survey of lot number 4 and a copy of the approved subdivision at the back of your memorandum. The applicant requests to waive the condition of a 50-foot rear yard setback for Lot 4 within the subdivision known as Mill Run Estates number 1062. The map of Mill Run Estates was granted conditional final approval from the Planning Board on November 15, 2006. This application was approved for a 4-lot clustered subdivision fronting on a proposed cul-de-sac to be known as Donna Court, off a town road known as Hornet Road, and adjacent to the Sunken Meadow State Parkway. The subdivision is located in the R43 zoning district, single-family residential, 43,560 square feet. At that time, the board conditionally approved variances for all 4 lots, including variances for Lot 4 to reduce the front yard setback from 60 feet to 40 feet and to reduce the rear yard setback from 100 feet to 50 feet. The subdivision was clustered and the variance granted in order to reduce the visual impact on the adjacent State Parkway. The applicant is requesting permission to waive the condition of providing a 50-foot rear yard setback for Lot 4 and to reduce the rear yard to 46 feet in order to construct a home on the site. The Engineering, Highway, and Traffic Safety Departments have no objection to this request. The Planning Department performed an on-site inspection of the subdivision and determined that there would be little to no impact on the Sunken Meadow Parkway since Lot 4 is approximately 150 feet east of the roadway and Sunken Meadow Park, and the eastern portion of the state right-of-way is heavily wooded. As an alternative, planning suggests the applicant reduce the front yard setback from 40 feet to 36 feet to construct the home, further reducing any impact on the state right-of-way while maintaining acceptable front and rear yards within the subdivision. The Planning Department recommends the board make this application the subject of an on-site inspection.
Thank you. Is there anybody here representing the applicant? Would you give your name and address, please?
James Fuller, Fuller, 10 Winmar Way, Center Reach.
Any problems there with the recommendations of the planning?
No, I think that would be beneficial, actually, to take the 4 feet and put it in the front instead of the back. It's really because it's one of these colonials, and it's got like a 6-foot portico. And because of the portico, you know, because it has a roof over it, it doesn't fit within the building envelope. And the reason the building envelope is so small, it's 38 feet, is because out of the original subdivision, we had to give 2.2 acres to the town. So we were left with only, 55% of the land that we bought. And so that's the reason why they zoned it down and gave the variances, from R43. It wasn't because that's what we wanted to do, but we did that in cooperation with you so that you could take the 2.2 acres. So
Okay. The recommendation there is for an on-site, and that's what we'll do.
I don't really know that you really need to, I don't know. It's just,
We like to go look at things before we make a decision on it.
Especially there, sometimes if people haven't had an opportunity, even after they've got the agenda to get out to do an on-site, to see exactly what it is. But
I'm trying to get a
if you
building
don't have any
permit.
problem with it,
I have no problem with it at
Okay.
all, no.
Get you back here in 2 weeks,
Yeah.
okay?
whenever the next meeting is, right?
Members, anybody in the audience that wishes to speak on this application? Members of the board, any question? Motion for an on-site.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion in regards to Mill Run Estates, number 1062, that we accept the recommendation of the Planning Department in regards to an on-site of the subject property.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. We thank you.
Mr. Chairman, the next item on the agenda under Part 3, Item 16, the amendment of lot line application for King Cullen Grocery. Mr. Chairman and members of the board, there is a copy of the site plan for the King Cullen Grocery Store and the adjacent property attached to the back of your memorandum. The applicants are requesting an amendment of lot lines for the properties located on the east side of Washington Avenue, 194 feet south of Railroad Avenue in St. James, known as Suffolk County Tax Map Numbers 56-1-39, Lot 39, and Suffolk County Tax Map Number 56-1-44.1, Lot 44.1, to permit construction of a 4,355 square foot addition to an existing supermarket. The modification will transfer property from Lot 39 to Lot 44.1. Both properties are zoned central business. Lot 39 is a rectangular-shaped parcel that fronts on Washington Avenue and is the site of an existing single-family residence. Lot 44.1 is an irregularly shaped parcel fronting on Washington Avenue, Railroad Avenue, and Lake Avenue, and is the site of the King Cullen Supermarket. The lot line amendment will transfer approximately 6,164 square feet from Lot 39 to Lot 44.1. Presently, Lot 39 is approximately 21,780 square feet, and Lot 44.1 is approximately 89,781 square feet. After the proposed lot line amendment, Lot 39 will be approximately 15,616 square feet, and Lot 44.1 will be approximately 95,945 square feet. This proposal is in conformance with the Town of Smithtown zoning ordinance, since both lots would exceed the minimum lot area of 5,000 square feet for the central business zoning district after the amendment of lot lines. The amendment is requested in order to permit the expansion of the existing supermarket. The expansion of King Cullen was the subject of zone change petition number 2010-02 that was conditionally approved by the Town Board on November 17, 2011. The Engineering, Highway, and Traffic Safety Departments have no objections to the amendment of lot lines. The Planning Department has no objection to this request since a new buildable lot is not being created. The Planning Department offers the following resolution for the Board's consideration. Be it resolved that the Planning Board hereby approves the amendment of lot lines for the properties known as Suffolk County Tax Map Number 56-1-39 and 56-1-44.1, so as to convey 6,164 square feet from Lot 39 to Lot 44.1 by the survey prepared by Barrett, Bonacci, and Van Weel, PC, licensed surveyors, dated February 16, 2012, subject to the following conditions. This amendment of lot lines does not void the conditions of approval as set forth in Zone Change Petition Number 1984-07 and 2010-02. All conditions of both zone change applications remain in effect. 2, this amendment of lot lines shall be filed in the office of the Suffolk County Clerk. 3, the applicant shall submit copies of all filed documents, including deeds with meets and bounds description, with date stamp and file numbers to the Planning Department. Mr. Chairman, this is the Planning Department's recommendation for the amendment of lot line application for King Cullen Grocery.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Vincent Pizzulli with offices at 333 Earl Ovington Boulevard in Uniondale for the applicant King Cullen Grocery Company, Inc. I thank the planning staff for their report, and we are in full agreement with their report. And just to put it in simpler terms for the board, King Cullen owns tax lot 39 on Washington Avenue, which is currently approximately 21,780 square feet. It's improved with a single-family residence. King Cullen, in order to expand its building, the supermarket, pursuant to the town board change of zone resolution, which was approved in November of 2011, is asking the board to adjust the lot line between tax lot 39 and tax lot 44.1 so that we can construct the addition, so that we would reduce the residential lot from 21,780 square feet to approximately 15,000 square feet, so that we can build the addition, which is approximately 4,300 square feet, to the supermarket on a separate tax lot. That's it.
Okay.
King Cullen owns both lots?
King Cullen owns tax lot 39. St. James Associates owns tax lot 44.
Is there anyone here in the audience that wishes to be heard on this? Hearing none, a motion?
In the matter of the amendment of lot lines, King Cullen Supermarket, motion to adopt the resolution as read in accordance with the recommendations of the Planning Department.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, the last item on the agenda this evening under Part 5, Item 20, is the adoption of minutes for the Planning Board meeting of February 15th, 2012.
Move that we adopt the minutes.
Well, wait a minute. Is there anyone which is there to speak there tonight? Mr. Tramarko, we have a letter from you.
Yes.
And?
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, my name is Vincent Tramarko. I represent Donald Stanton and his wife. The last time I was before the board, there were some issues with respect to whether a subdivision could be allowed to be filed without a performance bond. And we brought up, I'm not going to rehash the whole thing, but we brought up another case where that was allowed. Since that time, the town attorney decided that a performance bond, however slight, is required in order to file a map. So since the last meeting, we've entered into a contract with the Highway Superintendent, Glenn Jorgensen. This is a copy of the contract along with the copy of the check. Mr. Jorgensen has the check, and we have an original copy of the contract, and I believe Mr. Jorgensen does. Now, that contract takes into account certain things on the performance bond, namely the curbing, the concrete apron, the $200 for the replacement, I guess, of a manhole cover. Anyway, the contract, you can see, is for the amount indicated, and the only thing that's really left is a couple of items. One is a street tree, one street tree. I don't know if the board ever looked at this property, but there's a number of $300 for the street tree. I do have pictures. It's so heavily wooded, I don't know where they could put a street tree in. The other item, which was submitted to the board the last time, was the certification of monuments, so that's in. And there's one other item. Well, there's two other items. One is the street tree, $300. Erosion control, $1,200. This is from the performance bond. And final as-built, $250. So if you take them and total them up, I believe that comes to $1,750. And the only thing we kind of take issue with is the tree, but it's really, if the board hasn't looked at the property and they want to go and look at the property, it's really not worth it to my client. We would rather put up the $1,750 and deal with the tree at a later date. The reason why I say that this is kind of important to us is we only have about a month to file this map. Otherwise, we have to start all over again, new fees, new everything. So you have before you a contract with the Highway Department to take care of most of the heavy work that has to be done, and we'll post a bond for the other three items that are on the performance bond estimate. That should be the end of it, and I ask this board to take the next step, and I guess it's to send it off to the town board with the board's blessing. Again, we only have about a month, otherwise we're going to have to start all over again. And we don't want to do that, and I don't think the board wants us to do that.
Is there anybody here else that wishes to speak on this application? Frank, what's the problem?
We haven't received any of these documents. The document that you have with the contract, this is the first we're hearing of it at this particular meeting. So we haven't, we didn't.
Maybe you review it and make some kind of recommendation for us?
No, what we were waiting for was, at the last meeting, we said to, I believe we came up and said, if you enter into a contract with the signed contract, give us a copy of the contract, and we'll bring that to the board, along with the certification of the monuments, if they're approved by engineering department, and any other item that has been approved, so that the board could see an itemized list of what is on the performance bond, what has been done, or what has been entered the contract, and then this is a dollars and cents issue. You would make your decision as to whether or not to reduce the performance bond. That's how I understood it as we left the last meeting.
Could we bring this matter up before the board at our next scheduled meeting?
Sure. Any problem getting everything there to the planning department so we can get it on for the
They
next
have it.
meeting?
No, we don't have the contract. You didn't give us the
I
contract.
just handed it in.
This
Look,
is,
you know, the formalities sometimes work, Mr. Chairman, but now we only have a month left.
All
We
right.
got the
All right, we've
contract
got a
from
meeting
Mr.
in
Jorgensen yesterday, I believe. So you know, we're really, our back is to the wall here. We don't want to miss that time.
Okay, we've got a meeting in 2 weeks. Will that give you enough time then to file everything there
No,
before it runs
I can't file
out?
everything. What's the next step, Frank? The next step is,
Look, you gave the board a copy of the contract. That's fine. I don't have a copy of the contract, so I don't know what it says. I'm assuming that everything that you said is correct, so I just need to see a copy of it, the check, and then I'll contact the other departments for their review, and we'll have it ready by the next meeting, all of the items that are done. This is not rocket science. I mean, all we need is
I know
specific
it's
sign-offs.
not rocket science. That's what.
But we need the documents. I can't go by words. I need to have,
Well,
Mr. Tramarko,
Underneath that.
yeah.
is our next meeting agreeable?
If
it's on the
everything's in
agenda
place
for
for you-
I'd
next
have
meeting?
about 15 days then to file the map. Now, what's next after that, Frank? Doesn't the town board have to accept the money in lieu of a performance bond?
Yes, they do.
And when is the next town board meeting? That's what I'm saying, that's why it's so close.
The next town board meeting is the 19th.
And
Yes.
The
we have-
19th?
Which would be the day
The
after
day
our
after,
meeting.
the day after our meeting.
Yes. We,
I'm sorry?
it's the day after the planning
The
board
day
meeting.
after the next planning board is the next town board
I-
meeting.
You know, I have to get, we have all the other paperwork. This was ready to be signed, so I just run this by the town attorney. They put the resolution on.
Will you
And
see
we
if
should
you
be
can
able to do that.
expedite this there, so that
It should be
it's-
no problem.
he doesn't have to lapse into another application?
If these documents and everything is in order, it should be no problem.
And will you get back to him if there's a problem?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right. Now, the next thing are the minutes.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. The minutes for the February 15th, 2012 Planning Board meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to adopt the minutes of the February 15th, 2012 meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. Any other business here, members? Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.